I'm going to take a look at probability. So go ahead and make a tab and then pause the video and copy that down. So probability, the probability of A is what I want over the total possibilities. So if I had a spinner, what's the probability of the arrow stopping at yellow? Well, what do I want? I want it to stop at yellow. So what I want is yellow. So how many yellows are there? So the probability of yellow is 2, is what I want, which is 2, over the total possibilities. How many other possibilities are there, including the yellow? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 total. And then you always simplify. So that's going to simplify by 2. It's going to be 1 over 4. And you can write that as 0.25 or 25%. But you always simplify. This is a listening check. Put a box around always simplify and color it in. The probability is a chance that something will happen. So probability will always fall between 0 and 1. Okay, it will always fall between 0 and 1. Alright, and you can write it as a fraction, a decimal, or a percent. Alright, so probability of something happening is 0 means it's impossible. The probability of something happening that's 1 means it's absolutely certain. Something in the middle is going to be like a 50-50 chance. And so basically, the more right you go, the more likely it is. And then the more left you go, the less likely it is. This is a listening check. Put a box around the word impossible and color it in. Alright, 2 keywords that you need to know is or. Or, anytime you see or, means add. And the way it's going to be done also is like a union, which looks like a U. Think reunion. When you think reunion, what do you think? Like people are coming together, more people. So you add. The other thing you might see is and or then. When you see that, you have to multiply. And with that, you're looking for the intersection. Alright? Intersection. What happens at an intersection or intersection of lights? You have like an overlap. Okay, so when you see and then, you multiply. When you see or, you add. Alright, so let's take a look at an example. Let's say, what is the probability of Y happening union the probability of G happening? So union means or again, right? Which means add. So the probability of Y. So every time you see probability, it's always what you want over the total possibilities. What I want over the total possibilities. So what's the probability of yellow? 2. Out of how many possibilities? 8 in total. And then or means I'm going to plus. And the probability of green, how many greens are there? 2. Out of how many possibilities? 8. And then we're going to add those two. When you add, you're going to get 4 over 8, which simplifies, because you always have to simplify, to 1/2. Or you can write that as 0.5. Or you can write that as 50%. 3 different ways you can express it. Listening check, color in the O in the title probability. Alright, let's take a look at one final example with and then. So let's say the probability of getting blue and or intersecting with the probability of getting a green. So remember, intersecting means and, which means we multiply. So probability of getting a blue, what I want over the total. So what do I want? Blue. How many blues are there? 4. So what I want is 4 out of how many possibilities? Total 8. And then probability of green, how many greens? 2. Out of how many possibilities? 8. And you just multiply those. So you multiply top, multiply the bottom, you get 8 over 64, which simplifies, if you divide by 8, to 1 over 8. And if you divide that, 1 divided by 8 is going to be 0.125 or 12.5%. Okay, so that's pretty much what probability is. What I want over my total possibilities. Or you add and you multiply. And it's always going to be between 0 and 1. Let's practice.